Today on Fast Food Face Off, we're doing an Oreo overload. Let's crush some calories.
Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off!
What's up, Tasty Vibe Tribe? Today, we're going to be trying a variety of Oreo-based products to help promote the new Krispy Kreme donuts and their launching of 2 limited edition Oreo flavored donuts. We have those donuts. We have some Pillsbury products, the OREO Funfettis. We have Klondike Oreo bars, and then we have a Oreo-based mousse from Walmart. Let's get into it. First up, we have the donuts from Krispy Kreme. 2 of these are new to Krispy Kreme and they're a limited edition. They're only going to be out until April 18th and then they're gone. The standby on the menu is the one that I have to the right, which is just their original Oreo donut. That's not going anywhere, but I wanted to get all 3 of them to see how the old ones stacked up to the new ones. Let's see how these taste. This first one is the glazed donut. I'm gonna have basically the explanation to all of these donuts down in the description below for you guys. So if you want a more in-depth explanation, just go down there. This is essentially an Oreo glazed donut with some Oreo crumb topping. So I was wrong. This is one of their filled ring donuts, which is cool that Krispy Kreme went that way. So it's got the chocolate glaze and then a little bit of like pinstriping with white glaze and then a cookies and cream filling on the inside and then these little bits of Oreo cookie on top. First impression, this is a really good donut. It's definitely reminiscent of a Oreo cookie. The only thing is maybe a little bit more of the Oreo bits. So I'm actually anxious to see what this giant, Oreo cookie on top of the other one does for the texture.
What is up, fast food fanatics? I'm going to be hitting you guys up with some fun Oreo facts and history along the way, so make sure to stay tuned.
So the next donut is the filled version of their new Oreo donuts. It has this giant Oreo cookie on top, which again, I'm curious to see how that's going to play into the overall texture of the donut. Let's see how it stacks up to the other one. So this one is actually not really filled. They just kind of put a cream just beneath that giant Oreo cookie. And then the rest of it is just a completely glazed donut. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I do think that this is gonna be a your mileage may vary depending on whether or not when you have an Oreo cookie, you like the cookie portion of something that's milk and cream, or you like the cream portion of something that's a cookies and cream style item. Me personally, I really enjoyed the cream from the ring donut, probably more than just the giant Oreo novelty on top of this. But I do think that creates an interesting idea for Nabisco in that I think it would be cool to get Oreos that size, maybe single serve giant Oreos. It'd be something cool. Then last but certainly not least is the original Oreo donut that Krispy Kreme has on their menu. This is constantly on the menu. It's not a limited edition. I just wanted to see how it stacked up to the 2 newer offerings from Krispy Kreme and Oreo. Let's see how it stacks up. This is a very good donut. In my opinion, I do think that this is the best of both worlds for both of these donuts. You get the cream that you would like from the ring, and then you get more of the cookie bits that you like from the second donut, and it's just a little bit more well balanced. And I think also the fact that it's not completely enrobed in that chocolate kind of makes it so that it has a little bit more chew to it from the actual donut. You can't go wrong with the classic.
Each Oreo cookie is 29% cream and 71% cookie, with 123,000 tons of cream filling those cookies each year.
So I'm just gonna get through these other 3 donuts and then we're gonna move on to the next product. Next up is the Oreo Funfetti cupcakes from Pillsbury and the Funfetti Oreo frosting on top. This is something that's kind of like a limited thing. I don't know if this is going to come a regular item for Pillsbury or if this is just kind of a limited run that they did as a crossover with Nabisco. Either way, Let's see how it tastes. Just perfectly comes off the wrapper. Courtesy of Mrs. Fast Food Face Off, because if I baked this, it would have been terrible. So these are crazy good. Super light and moist vanilla cake, just a little bit of Oreo throughout, and then kind of the overload with the Oreo cream frosting on top. This is definitely more my vibe. I think like with the donuts, when you go too heavy on just the chocolate from the cookies and cream standpoint, I think to me it throws off like the ratios. They could have maybe put a little bit more of the cookie bits in the actual frosting, but besides that, this is delicious. Before I smash the rest of these cupcakes, if you guys enjoy the content, smash that like button. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you can stay up to date with what we have going on in future videos. And also, head on over to our Instagram and give us a follow so that you can stay up to date with what's going on with the rest of the Tasty Vibe tribe. Let's crush the rest of these cupcakes. Something to note with this is that Pillsbury actually put out like a whole Oreo line. So they have the vanilla cake and cupcake, a chocolate version of this. And then they also have brownies, which I'm going to do. And then pancake mix for people that absolutely need cookies for breakfast, like me.
Since debuting in 1912, more than 500 billion Oreos have been sold, with more than 10 billion of them being sold in 2011 alone in the US.
Next, we have these giant gooey chocolate brownies from Pillsbury. These look absolutely amazing. They're basically the whole box, and then I just had Mrs. Fast Food Face Off cut it into like just 4 giant squares. But these look crazy good. Let's see if they taste as good as they look. So these are amazing. They're fudgy and rich, and just the right amount of crunch. I would say the only thing is that I wish that maybe they came with like a little packet of some sort of like a frosting or like an icing that you can drizzle on top, just to bring a little bit more of that cream factor into the brownie itself. But other than that, these are really good. I'm just gonna try to finish up these last 2, and then we're gonna move into the ice cream cookie sandwiches.
As the world's best-selling cookie, Oreos are available in more than 100 countries, with flavors that include green tea ice cream in Japan, dulce de leche in Argentina, blueberry ice cream in Indonesia, and mango orange in China.
Next up is these giant ice cream sandwiches from Klondike. When I saw these, they have like a bunch of novelties, you know, that are obviously cookies and cream flavored inside of the supermarkets, but I saw these and I was just like, they just look like giant Oreos. So I went with these. Enough talking, let's get into it. They're really good. This is very much indicative of other Klondike bar products. You either like it or you don't, but I'm definitely a fan. I think what separates Klondike from other kind of novelty ice cream sandwiches is just the quality of the cake. The quality of the cake, I think, is what definitely separates a good, you know, novelty ice cream sandwich from just a mediocre one. There's 1,000,001 ways to kind of eat an Oreo, and I was curious how you guys eat your Oreos. Do you twist it and then eat the cream and then eat the cookie afterward? Do you suffocate them until they stop bubbling? My sister-in-law does that. She kind of drowns her cookies before she eats them. Let me know down in the comment section how you guys eat an Oreo.
The way you eat your Oreo might say something about your personality, according to a Kraft Food survey in 2004 that said Dunkers tend to be energetic, adventurous, and social, Twisters are sensitive, emotional, artistic, and trendy, and Biters are easygoing, self-confident, and optimistic.
Last one. Last but not least is this Oreo Dessert Mousse from Walmart. So the actual bakery that makes this is Twin Star Bakery, and they've done like versions of this where I guess it was kind of like just like a milk and cookies kind of thing, but they finally did an actual Oreo mousse dessert, and people were kind of going crazy over this. It's a good way to close out the Oreo overload. I'm gonna use my big spoon for this so that we can just kind of get into it. Let's see how it tastes. That's crazy good. When they say mousse, like, this is full on like a mousse. Like, it's not like the consistency of whipped cream where it's like real thin. Like, it's a thicker whipped consistency. It's not the consistency of like pudding or cheesecake either. It's not like too thick. It is crazy good. You can use this almost like a dip. Like, if you took like your favorite flavor of Oreo and then dipped it into this, it would make for an awesome party dessert. And by the way, let us know down in the comment section, what's your guys' favorite flavor of Oreo? I think for me, I like their Nutella flavor. I think that that new one that they came out with is probably one of my favorites. And then I'm a OG kind of peanut butter Oreo guy. I think that those are probably 1 and 2 for me. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys like. Let's finish her up.
Remember when I mentioned giant Oreos? Well, in 1984, Oreo debuted the Big Stuff, a cookie 10 times the size of a normal Oreo that contained over 300 calories. Unfortunately, it was discontinued in 1991.
I would say that the base cookie layer that they have kind of on the bottom of this is a little softer. So go into that knowing it when you buy this, that it's not like a hard crisp cookie. I think that this almost lends itself to having like cookies used as a dip for just kind of that textural difference. That's what it reminds me of. I couldn't think of it. The parfaits that they used to have at KFC, the little Colonel's buckets, which for whatever reason they stopped selling. It was one of my favorite desserts from like any fast food place. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. It's like spot on.
Now that I'm overstuffed with these Oreos, let's see how the cookie crumbles for these products.
Final review time. Look, I don't know whether or not it was just because of like a consistency thing but that mousse was awesome. That's definitely number 1 for me. Number 2, I'm gonna probably give it to the new ring donut from Krispy Kreme. It's kind of light enough, the fact that it's a ring and that it's a filled ring. I do think that you get a good combination of flavor and texture. I think that that was probably my favorite of the 3 donuts. Number 3, I'm gonna go with the cupcakes from Pillsbury. Those things were delicious. They were light, they were airy, coupled with that frosting, it was amazing. I think the only slight complaint I might have about it is that I just wish that there was a little bit more chunks of those Oreo cookie bits, and I think that that would probably put it over to the top for me. Number 4, I'm gonna probably go with the other donuts from Krispy Kreme. I would say that I think that their original Oreo donut is better than the one with the giant Oreo cookie shell. Your guys' mileage may vary on that. So I'd probably go last with the brownies. Not that they weren't really good brownies. They were super fudgy, super rich. I think that they were just a little rich for most people. And I wasn't getting enough of the blend of milk and cookie vibes from them. It was just kind of a very chocolate fudgy note. But again, they were still very good. And also, I do think that that mousse that Twin Star Bakery makes would kill if they made them into individual cups and did it with other cookie companies. Doing like a Nutter Butter version of that or like a Chips Ahoy cookie version of that would be amazing. That about wraps it up for that. We're gonna have the actual run of the calories for you guys. We're not really gonna do the price because, you know, it's just kind of store-bought product stuff. Most of it's pretty inexpensive. The calorie count on this was probably one of the highest calorie counts that we've had. I think that it's gonna probably be somewhere over 9,000 calories. It was a lot. We almost broke 10,000. It's definitely a calorie PR, I think, for me. That about wraps it up for us here at Fast Food Face Off. So remember, you are what you eat. Always eat amazing. Thanks for watching, guys.